Hello, this is Natasha Astara from Earth Mother Star Child, and this is podcast number 3 in my Journey to Wholeness series. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about our splitting that occurs and how we can help to heal ourselves from that process. Some of this that is very applicable at the moment is we are having an opportunity in this year, 2018, to become masters of our own awareness, of our own behaviours, of our own energy, essentially. We're going through a process as we're ascending with the earth up to another dimension to become more aware of our own integrity around behaviours. I quite like the word integrity because to me it's about having alignment with everything that you are, your behaviours, your thoughts, your words, your emotions, having them all to be in alignment with your heart energy, your soul energy. So integrity is a really wonderful thing, but we don't really see a lot of it because people are constantly pulled out of integrity. And they allow themselves to be pulled out of integrity, but because there's so much of it around this disjointed form of integrity, where people have to compromise so much, that we are in danger. Well, we are seeing it everywhere that so many people are out of integrity. So when I'm looking at this process, I'm referring to our ascension process, which is taking us into the heart space, and it is asking us to have integrity around the soul energy that we feel coming into our heart from our soul, coming into us, our soul light, our soul energy, and to have integrity around what we want to create here, how we want to use our energy, how we want to leave a legacy here on earth, but how we want to express ourselves through this incarnation. And this becomes so important. I mean, really, this is the work. When people talk about what they want to do in life, this is the energy that I want to refer back to. The Lioness group I started to help entrepreneurs, mostly female entrepreneurs, really come into alignment with this heart energy, their soul light, and make it their life's work, their life's mission. That's on another level. So on a very individual level, this bringing back to integrity, so in wholeness, to who you really are, what you really came here to do on earth, how you really want to behave, how you really want to act, that reflects the light of your soul and your soul energy. So what is actually happening, and it took me a while to realise this, maybe quite a few decades, is that who I thought I was and who I am in the world can be two different things. It can be many different things actually, and I notice this a lot, this split with other people, and part of this is to do with our conscious unconscious split in the mind and our light and our shadow, where we see a split in wholeness when we often find that our consciousness is just as it is. I mean, it's an energy, there is no good or bad to it, it just is. But we can then, the old matrix patterns with the mind are all about judgment, so we can judge ourselves. So we see this happening all the time with children. They do something which feels very natural to them, like they, sort of bash something or knock something over or pick the nose or whatever they're doing, and they find it very, the idea that anything that comes out of their body is incorrect or wrong is just completely alien to them, because they are pure consciousness and they have not formed the judgments of the or the mind, and our societal values, which are very much taught and conditioned. Actually, we are conditioning our children from a very young age, and as we see how their conditioning works within society. So this causes a split, because if we have pure consciousness coming in to ourselves, and then suddenly that's being judged, one as wrong and the other as okay, so what right? Got the split between right and wrong, and then we get the split between good and bad. We get the split between light and dark, good and evil, and we see the polarity begin. So we've got, this probably began way before then, in the energy and conscious field. So it's a bit like, what I feel is we need to suspend judgment and have an awareness that within the heart all things are equal. And this is the very much moving into a way of looking and perceiving the world around us as a unity, as a union, as all things have approval, have love, have acceptance. And this really begins with our process of healing, which returns us to wholeness. So this begins as acceptance of all the parts of ourselves that perhaps we see as unacceptable. If you imagine there are lots of parts of you, and some of them you know about, some of them you don't, some of them you like, some of them you don't, and the bits that you don't, the parts that you don't, they're like parts of the family that you sent off into the cupboard and you rather not let them out, and the ones that you like, you invite them round to dinner every day. So the people in the cupboard are going to get a bit fed up, I have to say. They're going to feel very suppressed, they're going to feel very disconnected, they're going to feel very undernourished, underloved, and that does not bring the best out in people. So when we see that in our world, we also see this is the beginning of riots, revolutions, the severe discontent and lack of love, lack of honour, lack of partnership and union creates a real problem. This is the split. So if we see that just within ourselves, then it's really about opening that door and allowing all those bits out of the cupboard in a very loving, contained way, and offering them some food, offering them love, offering them nourishment, and welcoming them back into the space of love and into a healing space towards wholeness. Now, wholeness, why is that important? Oh my goodness, it is so important. Because once we are in wholeness with ourselves, we can really begin to draw on our own source power, the power from our divine source. It's your soul signature, it's your soul vibration, and it won't just trickle in, it can flow in, can really begin to flow once we've got wholeness going on. So if you imagine a fragmentation and it becomes lots of different splits, there's going to be less and less energy from the full flow at the top once it goes down all those splits and it drips out all different edges, and some of those edges won't even get any water or any love or any soul energy, so they become really starved. So the more we can flow in the soul energy into ourselves as a whole and complete vessel, then the better that we can radiate and express ourselves in our wholeness here on earth in this incarnation. So your wholeness is absolutely your job to work within, to work towards, to encourage, to embrace, to just feel the full aspects of your divine self coming through your body. I believe we are all physical transmitters and receptors here on earth in a physical body. We are bringing matter, consciousness into matter. We are bringing soul energy, soul light, soul consciousness from all sorts of different parts of the universe into a physical body. I mean, it really is such a beautiful journey of creation that we are experiencing and we are part of. We just don't know that's what's going on, and most people are unaware that they are part of that beautiful picture, that puzzle, that jigsaw that is making up the incredible diversity and radiance of our world. Part of our ascension process, as we bring in energy, our own soul light that is coming through, straight from source, straight from divine source into us, we light up and we radiate through our wholeness. We can become, real transmitters of unconditional love to one another and to ourselves. This journey here is very confusing in some ways because it feels like it's all external, but actually it is very internal as well. We create from the internal spaces. We create from our minds, and we create from our cells and all our chakras and our energy matrix, our Merkaba. We are creating as particles here. And we represent all the different parts of the universe in this space, the creative, loving universe. So we're coming to the end of another podcast. I really want to get onto the male-female union, which I'll maybe do another podcast and we can discuss that. So if you've enjoyed this, please link into the next one. It's becoming a little bit more clear, it's less rambling than I was doing in the first few, because there is such a big subject, and it really is about the transmission through my voice and discussing it as we evolving together. We are all providing parts of the puzzle. So I would really love to hear from you. I do one-to-one work sessions with people. I do acupuncture sessions with people, but I do a lot of energy work, and I'd be very happy to do one-on-one sessions if you want to get in touch. My website is www.earthmotherstarchild.co.uk, and I also are on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and link up, and I'd love to hear from you. Okay, namaste. Blessings.